Good afternoon. This is the news update on Dominion Television. I am Anoluakpo Ido. The federal government, alongside other stakeholders in the health sector in Abuja, inaugurated the National Electronic Pharmacy Policy and Strategic Implementation Plan to further transform the health sector. Represented by the Director of Food and Drug Services, Olubumi Aripina, at the ministry, the Coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, said the policy would regulate production and sales of pharmaceuticals and allow Nigerians access to quality-assured medicines. Meanwhile, the Registrar and CEO, Pharmacy Council of Nigeria, PCN, Ibrahim Babashir Ahmed, on this end, said the policy would provide strategic direction for regulation, especially for PCN, being the implementing agency. The Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, has announced that the National Identification Number issued by the National Identity Management Commission has automatically become the tax identification number for individual Nigerians. The clarification was made in public awareness campaign on the new tax laws shared by the service on X, assuring that registered businesses will also no longer require a separate tax ID, as their Corporate Affairs Commission registration number will now serve as their official tax identifier under the new tax system. Explaining the policy, the FIRS said the Nigeria Tax Administration Act, which is scheduled to take effect from January 2026, mandates the use of a tax ID for special and specific transactions. However, it stressed that the requirement is not new, noting that it existed since the Finance Act of 2019 and has only been strengthened under the NTAA. He then urged the public to disregard misinformation surrounding the reform. The Executive Governor for Oyo State, Engineer Seyi Makinde, is presently having the end-of-the-year media chat in Ibadan, Oyo State, an innovation which he says is not the first of its kind. The media chat stands as a medium of keeping the populace informed of the happenings in the Paysetter State. This is also coming ahead of Makinde's 2025 birthday celebration. We will also bring you updates of the event in a subsequent bulletin. Stay tuned. And moving on, Oyo State government has issued a 7-day ultimatum to motorists whose vehicle registration plates have been covered or defaced to fix it, warning that offenders will be arrested and prosecuted after the deadline. The warning was issued during the press briefing at the Oyo State Police Command Headquarters, Eleyele, following the joint border security show of force involving Lagos, Ogun, Osun, and Oyo States. Speaking at the briefing, the Special Advisor on Security Trust Fund to the Oyo State Governor, retired CP Fatai Owosheni, said the show was aimed at strengthening security collaboration across the Southwest, stressing that vehicles with obscured or missing plate numbers will be targeted as part of effort to curb crime and criminal activities across the state within the next 7 days. In their separate remarks, the Commissioner of Police in the Oyo State, CP Femi Haruna, alongside representatives of the Nigerian Army, Ismaila, and Director General of the Oyo State Security Network, Amotekun, retired Colonel Olayinka Olayonju, reaffirmed the readiness of security agencies to maintain peace and order. A 2-day training on gender advocacy and feminist principles has brought together young men from across Ibadan. The workshop, organized by the New Initiative for Social Development in partnership with the African Center for Leadership, Strategy and Development, aims to build a stronger male support base for the fight against gender-based violence and inequalities. Grace Haino has more.
For an intensive 2-day capacity building workshop, an effort to sustain male engagement in gender advocacy and support feminist principles in their communities. The training, organized by the New Initiative for Social Development, addressed topics ranging from understanding gender stereotypes to promoting male allyship in the prevention of gender-based violence.
And this project is all about bringing male-dominant groups together in 4 Southwest states to build their capacity, to also know how far we can strengthen their weaknesses as it concerns gender-based violence. As we discovered, these dominant male groups are groups that need capacity building in terms of how they can relate with their family, most especially the girl child and the women. Which we call the male-dominant group into this project, is because we felt they are important groups. The mechanics, the road transport workers, the keke napep riders, and other groups. If we build their capacity, they can also cascade this capacity to other network members, to other group members within their own groups.
The African Center for Leadership, Strategy and Development co-facilitator of the program emphasized the importance of including men in the conversation around feminist principles, noting that sustainable change requires shared responsibilities.
The register feminism has been greatly bastardized. So we're looking at giving it the right concept and the right name, so that men can always be supporting the idea of getting the women to have to promote their human rights, to get access to opportunities and access to justice as well. Embrace our women. Let's continue to support them. Let's continue to expose them to opportunities, and let's continue to promote their human rights.
Participants say the workshop has reshaped their perspectives, giving them a deeper understanding of gender dynamics and the role men can play in promoting fairness and respect.
Well, it's a surprise to me because when I'm coming, my view is gender-based, that is to be against women, that will be war against women, or this, but this as a feminist is to just for anybody, not just a woman alone, for the improvement of the feminine.
The organizers say they hope to expand the program to reach more communities in the coming months. For now, this young men return home as empowered allies in the ongoing fight for gender equality. Grace Aino, Dominion News.
The participants of this year's Christmas Fiesta of Dominion Broadcast Group have expressed their utmost joy, describing the station as a rare one in Oyo State with fascinating equipment. Speaking with Dominion News, some teachers and students stressed that the experience at the station shows a clear difference from other stations they have been to for the same purpose. They were surprised that such a awesome timeout came at just a token of 3,000 naira.
It's really fun. Our children are catching their fun, and then they actually met our expectation. Everything they promised us, actually, they are fulfilling it. Thank you. It's nice to be here. We wish to be here in 2026 again.
It was beautiful. There were a lot of interesting things. They showed us plenty things. They took us to many places. It was quite interesting, and I love the dancing, the games we played, and the Bansu Castle. It was such a fun experience.
Surprised, I was thinking it would be one of those kind of events, you know, but given what I made, the standard, the quality of the music and everything, I think is well worth over the price.
Thank God we are.
The participants stand a chance of meeting with their own favorite on-air personalities of all time and win different gifts among other exciting things to make it memorable. The mouth-watering event is currently on the way until tomorrow, Wednesday, 24th December. And now on the foreign scene, Central African Republic President Faustin Archange Touadéra is seeking a controversial third term after a decade in office in which he has turned to Russia for security in exchange for access to gold and other resources. Campaigning on his security record and pledging infrastructure investment, Touadéra has attended numerous ceremonies, including signing a deal last week to launch Starlink in the country. Despite close ties with Russia, Touadéra has signaled a renewed interest in Western partnerships, telling the Financial Times in September that it would welcome any country willing to develop CAR's lithium, uranium, and gold reserves. Meanwhile, Charles Boussel of International Crisis Group and other analysts said the president will win because he has much more financial capacity than his opponent. China has urged the United States to fulfill its nuclear disarmament responsibilities after a draft Pentagon report said China is likely to have loaded more than 100 intercontinental ballistic missiles and has no desire for arms control talks. A Chinese Foreign Ministry spokesperson, Lin Jian, during a regular press conference, said the United States should create conditions for other nuclear weapon states to disarm. Lin added that China does not engage in nuclear arms races with any country. And moving on to the United States, where the United States Department of Homeland Security, USDHS, has announced a limited-time program aimed at encouraging undocumented migrants to voluntarily leave the country during the holiday season. United States DHS said in a statement that migrants who register to self-deport through the CBP Home app by the end of the year will receive a $3,000 stipend in addition to a free flight to their home country. The department added that illegal immigrants who fail to take their offer will be arrested, deported, and will not be allowed to return to the country. In talking sport, Liverpool manager and sludge has said Alexander Isak faces a couple of months out injured after a reckless challenge by Tottenham defender Mickey van de Ven. Isak sustained a fracture to his left leg following a sliding tackle from van de Ven as he scored for the Reds in a 2-1 win at Spurs. The Sweden international had an operation on what Liverpool described as an ankle injury that included a fibular fracture, which would take the striker 2 months to recover from. You can visit our website on www.dominion.org.ng to watch us live and interact with us. You can also follow us across our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and LinkedIn at Dominion Broadcast, and next at Dominion Cast. And that ends the news update on Dominion Television. I'm Anuluakpo Edo. Thank you for watching.